Coming up on Mountain News this morning, we'll show you how one organization in Corbin is working to keep the local economy flowing while also feeding people in need. And we show you how to make a cloth mask out of common household items without needing to sew anything.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Katie Cook. It is Thursday, April the 9th, and your time is about 5:32. Let's check in with Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. It's almost like we're seeing the calm after the storm, Brandon. I'm just hoping there's not a whole lot of damage out there when people wake up and go outside.
Right, and you're literally right. It is the calm after the storm. Still a couple of spotty showers left over this morning as we take a look at live pinpoint Doppler radar, and you'll see those. I'm going to zoom in on the cluster that we're continuing to watch. Nothing severe, so get that out of your head already. Just some heavier bands of rain near Beattyville, going back into Breathitt County and then over into parts of Magoffin County this morning, in Floyd County and the southern parts of Breathitt County. We're looking again at temperatures in the 50s. Those will continue to fall through mid-morning before we stabilize back in the mid-50s this afternoon. 61 in Jacksboro. Your day planner, we're looking at temperatures that will hang out in the 50s pretty much all day before they start to crash into the 30s overnight. I'll have the rest of that forecast coming up here in just a little bit. Katie?
All right, Brandon, thank you. For the last several years, officials in Williamsburg worked hard to try and bring life back into downtown. As they started seeing the fruits of their labor, the coronavirus pandemic stalled their process. WYMT's Hannah Reynolds talked with Mayor Roddy Harrison about the holdups.
Coming soon signs plaster walls of downtown Williamsburg.
We were at the beginning. We weren't really into their money-making time.
But those planes are not coming as soon as everyone thought.
Well, there's never a good time for a pandemic, but we had one restaurant actually rocking and rolling. I mean, they were doing really, really well. The brick oven was doing phenomenal, and the Butcher's Pub was scheduled to open. The others were coming a little bit later.
Places like Copper Top Tap. The bar is made up entirely of 2019 pennies. It is a stark reminder of how they were supposed to open back in May.
We've told people for weeks and months that we were in the final stages, and then we would hit another hurdle.
So when they received word they could open March 30th, it came at a bittersweet time.
Half of the experience of Copper Top is being inside Copper Top. I mean, if you look around, we've got the penny top bar, we've got a copper ceiling. I mean, it's an entire aesthetic in here.
And without first allowing that experience to take shape, they simply could not start with curbside, meaning they have been put on hold once again. Now, the Copper Top Tap is looking forward to seeing the silver lining.
I'm ready to see the growth. You know, everybody's right there at the edge, ready to go over. So when you see that growth is happening, you know, your economy is going to do nothing but win. So that's what we're looking forward to.
Expecting to bring life to downtown like they have never seen. In Whitley County, Hannah Reynolds, WYMT Mountain News.
Copper Top Tap and the Butcher's Pub are both planning grand openings as soon as current closing orders are lifted. The ELCA Lodge in Corbin is helping to give restaurants business and feed those in need. Through the $2,000 gratitude grant, the lodge is buying meals from 8 downtown restaurants so they can take turns preparing meals over the next 2 months. Those meals will be prepared every Wednesday evening at 4. We are hearing from a Kentucky man who has been stranded in China for months. COVID-19 was first reported in Wuhan, China. The city just ended a 10-week lockdown. Mark Wett often travels there for work, and unfortunately, his most recent trip coincided with the start of the shutdown. Wett says he was isolated and required to report his temperature to local officials daily. He is now urging everyone back home to take this seriously.
To put all the politics and all that nonsense behind us and start thinking about how we can do a better job of helping each other survive through this thing.
Wett is in good spirits and says he cannot wait to see his family when he comes back to the States next month. Yesterday, we talked with Senator Mitch McConnell about concerns surrounding COVID-19. We spoke with him just moments after he talked to the Vice President about helping the state receive personal protective equipment and tests. The senator told us this is one of the toughest times the country has ever faced.
much broader impact than after 9/11. So, and the other dilemma we have is we don't yet have either a treatment or a vaccine to deal with this the next time it comes back. So this is in many ways, I think, a bigger challenge. Requires everybody in the country to participate by staying at home during this period. We're all in this together in a much bigger way than we were after 9/11 or after the financial meltdown a decade ago.
And despite the pandemic, Democrat Amy McGrath has raised a ton of cash for her Senate campaign. Her announcement came after Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said he raised $7.5 million, his biggest fundraising quarter ever. McGrath upped the ante, raking in nearly $13 million. She leads the pack in fundraising among Democrats who want to challenge McConnell. Kentucky's primary is now set for June 23rd. Toyota is extending its shutdown by another 2 weeks. The automaker was scheduled to reopen on April 20th. A letter sent to employees at the Georgetown plant now says Toyota will not reopen until May 4th. Toyota has said the shutdown was a production adjustment due to a decline in demand because of COVID-19. Amazon says one person has been diagnosed with COVID-19 in its Lexington facilities. Amazon says the facility is being thoroughly cleaned, temperatures are being taken, and face masks are being handed out. Employees we talked to earlier this week say they want the company to stop accepting returns until they have a safer work environment. The CDC is advising people to use a cloth face mask to help slow the spread of COVID-19. But why a cloth mask? The CDC does not want to take medical supplies away from those on the front lines. WYMT's Madison Pergram shows us how you can make one in the comfort of your own home without the need to sew.
As you go out and about, whether it's to the grocery store or the pharmacy, you're probably seeing more masks. Well, these masks aren't difficult to make, and you can make them right from home. Now, you'll first need your cloth item. I'll use a scarf, but a bandana or a cloth towel will do. Now you need something to secure your mask. You might have hair ties here in the bathroom, or rubber bands would work. I'll grab a paper towel as a filter, but a coffee filter is also a good choice. Now you have all the items you need. So you're going to lay out your cloth, folding it in half. The key here is to make sure you have multiple layers of fabric. You will then take the paper towel and place it in the center of the fabric, folding over each long end towards the middle. Then you're going to take the hair ties on each end. You're going to slide them on about 6 inches apart. And once you have those on, you're going to take one end of the fabric, fold it in, take the other end of the fabric, and tuck it into the other side. You now have your homemade mask, and it's that simple. You can take it out now and wear it to protect you and others. I'm Madison Pergram, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, if you want to sport a mask with the iconic Mother Goose house on it, you can order one from the Goose Inn shop in Hazard. One of the artists was making masks for nursing homes and hospitals, and Goosen manager Sherry Spradlin asked if she could make ones with a goose on them. She found printable material and printed fabric with a picture of the goose on it, but the idea all came from one photo.
Greg Miller did for us, and he photoshopped and put a mask on the goose, which is what started it all. So it just became awesome that, the goose had a mask and is protecting Perry County, so to speak. So when she's able to do that and then to sew them, it just made it perfect.
The masks are $10. To order, you can call 606-435-2079 or message the Goosen Facebook page. And later, many are remembering singer John Prine after he died from COVID-19 complications. We take a look at his impact here in the mountains.
Cooler days, cooler nights, and some sunshine mixed in. That's our forecast as we head toward Easter. I'll have the full details in about 3 minutes.